Court orders Senate to recall Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan. Consider career in military. Army chief urges young Nigerians. Alleged land scam. PWAN refutes activist Scott Iguma's allegations. Tinubu departs St. Lucia for BRICS summit in Brazil. Nigeria ignored as Trump invites 5 African presidents to White House. Russia formally recognized Taliban's rule in Afghanistan, says Foreign Affairs Minister. Summary of the news. Court orders Senate to recall Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan. Justice Binta Nyako of the Federal High Court in Abuja has ordered the Nigerian Senate to recall Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan, declaring her 6-month suspension excessive and a denial of representation for Kogi Central. The judge also advised the Senate to review its sanctions rules. Senator Akpoti-Uduaghan had sued several Senate officials over her suspension, but the court also found her guilty of contempt for a satirical Facebook apology posted on April 27 in violation of a court order. She was fined 5 million naira and ordered to publish a formal apology in 2 national newspapers within 7 days and on Facebook within 2 days. Her suspension imposed on March 6 stemmed from alleged misconduct, including refusal to sit in her reassigned seat during a February 20 plenary. This case is separate from her ongoing cybercrime trial, for which she is currently out on bail. Consider career in military. Army chief urges young Nigerians. The Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Olufemi Oluyede, has called on young Nigerians to consider a career in the military, stressing the values of discipline, patriotism, and national service. Speaking through Brigadier General A.A. Musa during a public engagement at Idris Koko Technical College in Sokoto, Oluyede said the initiative was part of the Nigerian Army's ongoing efforts to strengthen civil-military relations and educate students on the Army's role in national development. The event aimed to inspire youth by promoting positive values and offering direct interaction with Army personnel. During the program, students received talks on staying away from crime and the dangers of cultism. A National Youth Service Corps member, Janet, gave a compelling lecture using real-life stories to warn against cult-related activities, while Captain Musa Lemu emphasized the importance of education and career development. Lieutenant E.O. Ojo also highlighted the Army's contributions to society, including humanitarian projects like free medical services and borehole construction. Alleged land scam. PWAN refutes activist Scott Iguma's allegations. PWAN Group has denied allegations of land fraud made by activist Scott Iguma, who claimed the company sold land without proper allocation and was labeled a Ponzi scheme by the Securities and Exchange Commission. Iguma also said that despite taking victims to the EFCC, PWAN failed to refund affected customers, unlike other companies. In response, PWAN dismissed the claims as false and misleading. The company stated that it operates transparently and in line with regulations, with over 120 complaints received and more than 75% already resolved. It clarified that most issues involved delays in follow-up site visits, not outright non-allocation. PWAN's founder, Augustine Onwemere, released a video urging affected clients to come forward. The company has introduced digital mapping tools and launched the Fence Your Plot project to encourage early land demarcation and prevent encroachment. It also said a reallocation system is in place for cases with title issues. PWAN accused Iguma of spreading unverified information and noted that he has not provided any documented evidence. The company has involved legal and law enforcement agencies and urged the public to rely only on official communications. Despite this, Iguma says he will continue exposing the firm until all customer complaints are fully addressed. Tinubu departs St. Lucia for BRICS summit in Brazil. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has concluded a week-long state visit to St. Lucia and departed for Brazil to attend the 2025 BRICS summit in Rio de Janeiro. During his visit, he held high-level meetings with St. Lucian leaders, including Prime Minister Philip Pierre and Governor General Cyril Erol Charles, and addressed the nation's legislature, emphasizing stronger regional partnerships. Tinubu highlighted the importance of collaboration with St. Lucia and Eastern Caribbean states. In Brazil, he will join leaders from Egypt, Ethiopia, and South Africa for the 17th BRICS summit. Nigeria ignored as Trump invites 5 African presidents to White House. President Tinubu of Nigeria has been excluded from a July 9 meeting and lunch hosted by US President Donald Trump and leaders from 5 African nations: Gabon, Guinea-Bissau, Liberia, Mauritania, and Senegal. The meeting, aimed at discussing commercial opportunities between the US and Africa, will focus on strengthening economic ties. The reason for Nigeria's exclusion is unclear, though Tinubu met in April with Trump's African advisor Masad Boulos to discuss strategic economic and security partnerships. Trump has not publicly engaged with Nigeria on commercial matters since taking office in January. Additionally, Trump has recently cut US foreign aid to Africa and plans to impose a visa ban on 36 African countries, including Nigeria, unless they comply with the US requirements within 60 days. Russia formally recognized Taliban's rule in Afghanistan. Russia has become the first country to formally recognize the Taliban government in Afghanistan since it took power in 2021. This follows Russia's removal of the Taliban from its list of outlawed organizations. The Russian Foreign Ministry received credentials from Afghanistan's new ambassador Gul Hassan and said the recognition will promote productive bilateral ties. The Taliban welcomed the move, calling it a historic step and a model for other nations. While the Taliban have held diplomatic talks with countries like China and the UAE, they had remained largely unrecognized due to international concerns, especially over their harsh restrictions on women's rights and education. Russia's ambassador to Afghanistan stated that President Putin made the recognition decision based on Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov's advice, aiming to stabilize Afghanistan and deepen relations. Follow for more. July 5th, 2025.